Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to this service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. We are so glad you have chosen to spend time with us. We know that you have many options and obligations on a Sunday, and we're grateful that you are here. For those gathered in the chapel, I invite you to place your phones on airplane mode, maybe even dangerously turn them off completely, to ensure that our online community has a very smooth experience of this sermon, as our Wi-Fi can be a bit bumpy. Also, if you're feeling chilly, there are blankets at the back of the chapel in a big old basket. You can get up at any time. You know, we're not terribly formal here, so if you're feeling chilly, especially if you found yourself next to a window, Marlena is waving a blanket even as I speak. Yeah, and she will help you. Marlene is our usher today, and she will be glad to help you with whatever you need. There are also hearing devices at the back, so if it's a little challenging for you to hear, or sometimes it's not the volume that's the problem, sometimes it's crispness of words, and all of that can be assisted with our assistive hearing devices. I want to wish you a happy Imbolc, the earth-centered observance of the growing light. The warmth can't be far behind, right? And, you know, we're supposed to be in the 20s, which is going to be a heat wave. So enjoy. Go ahead and just run around in shorts and hoodies. It'll be the right weather. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of our identities, are she and her. I offer my pronouns as a way to normalize the practice and to give you permission to name yourself your way. If you are new to Unitarian Universalism or to this particular congregation, I invite you to take a breath, relax, participate as fully as you are comfortable. We're going to sing some, spend some time in quiet reflection, and hear some reflections from our guest, John Snodgrass. You're welcome to move when we move or to remain seated. You'll notice that uniformity is not a high priority for us. You should know that in this space, in person and online, there are many identities. Sorry about that. Not everyone experiences the world the same way or necessarily believes the same things. If you think of us as many petals on one flower, that may help that to not be so disorienting. We put a high value on community, and you'll find us to be ridiculously friendly. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are welcome here. And now I turn to John Snodgrass, our guest, to offer a welcome to you as well.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So little Joey went to the circus, and he was really fascinated by the animals and the acrobats and etc. But what fascinated him the most was this one guy with a shovel who was in the elephant pen, just shoveling and shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. And finally, after watching him for a while, Joey said, "Hey, you know, there are other jobs you could do. Why don't you kind of quit shoveling in the elephant pen and do something else?" And the guy looked at him and said, "What? And give up showbiz?" If you didn't find that funny, welcome to showbiz. I mean, you know, be in a show sometime, and you'll get there. Welcome to this place which we make holy by our presence. These doors are open to all. Bring your brokenness and bring your power. Bring your fatigue, your early morning aches, and your energy. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, where the human is celebrated, where compassion is strength. Welcome to this place. Together, we make it a holy place.
We have an opportunity now to sort of weave together that holy place by singing, one of my favorite activities. I invite you to rise and body your spirit as we sing Gather the Spirit. It's found in the gray hymnal, number 347. Words will also be projected up front. Let's sing with gusto. Didn't that feel good? You may be seated. I offer to you a meditation in the form of a poem by the 14th century lyrical poet Hafiz. It's entitled Now is the Time, and the translation is by Daniel Ladinsky. Now is the time to know that all you do is sacred. Now, why not consider a lasting truce with yourself and God? Now is the time to understand that all your ideas of right and wrong were just a child's training wheels, to be laid aside when you finally live with veracity and love. Hafiz is a divine envoy whom the Beloved has written a holy message upon. My dear, please tell me, why do you still throw sticks at your heart and God? What is it that sweet voice inside that incites you to fear? Now is the time for the world to know that every thought and action is sacred. Now is the time for you to deeply compute the impossibility that there is anything but grace. Now is the season to know that everything you do is sacred. Sam, if you'd like to come up for our land acknowledgement. This is the moment in our time together when we pause to honor the land, and we pour a libation of gratitude to recognize this holy ground and the indigenous people who once occupied this land where our church stands. As Sam pours the water, let it symbolize our covenant to strive to establish healing relationships with the descendants of those who lived and died here. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole-making is this place. And whenever we gather, we light a chalice, a cup or a vessel that symbolizes Unitarian Universalism and the gathered community. I invite you to join me as we speak our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. The late Walter Brueggemann, an American theologian and Old Testament scholar, is noted for saying, "The prophetic tasks of the church are to tell the truth in a society that lives in illusion, grieve in a society that practices denial, and express hope in a society that lives in despair." That can sound like a heavy lift, too much for us to even consider. But I would note that Brueggemann does not say we are called to fix it all. We are called to tell the truth, to grieve, and to express hope. I believe that as we are embraced and emboldened by this community, we can offer one another hope and peace, lightening the load and giving us strength. So hold these thoughts in your mind as we sing our song of preparation. May peace reign over us. It's from the new virtual hymnal. We're going to sing it through twice. We're going to remain seated for the first verse and then rise for the second verse. So the first verse is introspective. It's a prayer. But as we rise, it is a declaration of who we will strive to be. Gregory's going to play part of it through once just to put it back in our memories, and then we'll sing together, again remaining seated for the first verse and then rising for the second. Rise. May peace, peace reign over us. Let it fill this place. May peace, peace reign over us till we're filled with grace. May it flow through the land You may be seated. It is our custom to make time in the service to acknowledge the joys, concerns, and sorrows that we carry with us. Sometimes we don't even know the heaviness of what we are carrying until we come into community and are offered the opportunity to do something. Ultimately, that is what this labyrinth rite, this ritual, is all about. We may not be able to fix all the things that we're carrying, but we can symbolically put them down and to rest in the embrace of this community. As the music plays, I extend the offer to you. There is a labyrinth up front. There's also a smaller labyrinth tucked by the candles in the back. And if you decide that moving is not where you are today, then I invite you to just hold the space and be mindful of all that is happening in this moment. Come forward or not, as you will. I offer a final stone in recognition of all the joys, concerns, and sorrows that are held in this room and held also by our wider UU Amherst community that meets online. All of us are held in this embrace. I invite you to sing with me. This is a Buddhist meditation set to music. There are 3 verses. May I be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. And may we be filled with loving kindness. Just remain seated as we offer this meditation. Kindness. I wonder if any of the kids in the back are watching the slides. It's the Wonder Box time. Come on, Cease. They're all following you. It's okay. Come on. Go and find your place. We have a special Wonder Box. Miss Katie's going to be helping, and my friend John. So come on. Yeah, get comfy. There's plenty of space.
Good. All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. I'm going to stay back here because I've got a little bit of a cough today, so I wouldn't want to cough on you. But we are going to be thinking this morning. We're going to be talking today about elephants, and there is a story about 5 blindfolded people who were trying to figure out what this big creature was that was in the room with them, and one of them, touched the tail and thought it was a rope, and one of them touched the side and thought it was something else. Each one thought that it was something else. And so, I have brought some things for the Wonder Box today, and I would like a volunteer. I'm gonna need 3 volunteers. You want to go first? This is great. Okay. So come on up. Now, what I need you to do, I need you to close your eyes. Come to the Wonder Box. I need you to close your eyes, and then she is going to let you touch one of the things in the Wonder Box. Now, I want you to tell me, what animal or creature do you think that might be?
You're going to leave it in the box, you're just going to touch it.
Yeah, you can leave it in the box. But tell us, just based on what your fingers felt, what do you think it might be?
I think it's a chicken.
A chicken.
Chicken.
I love that. Well, great. Do you want to can you show us what it was?
It is.
You know what? Okay, we're just going to see this one. You may be right, because that's something that one of my kids made, and it does look kind of like a chicken. So that's great. We need a second. Do we have a second volunteer? Do you want to do one? If you please. All right, so you're going to close your eyes. Don't look. Just reach in. Touch one of those 2 things. Now, what creature do you think that might be?
A spider.
Spider.
Oh, man. Did a spider crawl into the Wonder Box? Let me
Ooh,
see.
it's even creepier.
Oh, my goodness. You're pretty close. That definitely has 8 legs, plus a few more. That's some kind of like millipede. All right. Do we have one more volunteer? Okay, go ahead. Let's see. I bet you can get this one. All right, just don't look. All right. Take a guess.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea what that was.
I accept that. You want to just take one guess?
I don't know,
Okay.
honestly.
All right. Well, then let's see what it was.
It's a trick question, I feel like.
This one actually is like it's a jet pig. All right. Now, if you can imagine if these 3 different, touching sensations were part of the same animal, what do you think we would call an animal that was like a chicken and like a spider and like a pig? You know what? I think so too. I think that'd be great. That's okay. We have 3 in the box. But yes, you're welcome to hold that. All right. But I do think these are going to need to come home with me, because I don't know what's going to happen if I get home without that homemade chicken. All right. But it's good to see you, and I hope you guys get to do some cool stuff today, and maybe even find out something about elephants.
Ooh, all right, friends, why don't we put our new friends back in the box and head to faith development?
Let's sing them. Shine I invite you to join me in a shared reading. This comes, it can be found in the back of our gray hymnal, 661. The words will be projected up front. I will read as one, and then we'll all read as all. This is a reading entitled The Heart Knoweth, which is excerpted from the writings of our Unitarian ancestor, Ralph Waldo Emerson, or as I call him, Waldo. I just feel like, I talk about him a lot, so I feel like we're on more than a first-name basis. We have a great deal more kindness than is ever spoken. The whole human family is bathed with an element of love like a fine ether. How many persons we meet in houses whom we scarcely speak to, whom yet we honor and who honor us. How many we see in the street or sit with in church, whom though silently we warmly rejoice to be with. Read the language of these wandering eye-beams. The heart knoweth. I'd like you to use your eye-beams and send a little eye-beam love to one another on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was intense. And now I invite our guest, John Snodgrass, to take the pulpit and share his thoughts with us.
Thank you. Well, it's a snowy day in Western New York. And in other news, elephants. Today I'm going to be sharing some stories about elephants, and I'd like to start with one that is my favorite elephant story, which is both mythical and entirely factual. At Union Theological Seminary in the city of New York, sometime in the mid-1970s, a classroom full of future priests, ministers, social workers, and well-wishers were having a discussion on the hot topic of feminism. And a young lady in the room said something like, "So what do we need men for anyway? Except for conception, women can handle everything ourselves." And a handsome young guy stood up and said, "Well, I've just returned from living in Kenya. And with the African elephant, the guys just show up once a year to fertilize the herd, then wander off, and the lady elephants handle everything without them. Is that what you have in mind?" And that young lady lifted her heavy stack of theology books and papers and launched them across the room at that guy who looked a bit like me. And she stormed out, and I think you can guess where this story is headed. That's how my parents met. My mom was that angry feminist's friend who stayed after class to gather her books and papers from the floor. And my dad stayed after also to help. And, their eyes met, and then my sister was born. And unlike the African elephant, my dad stayed around consistently while my siblings and I grew up. And my mom's friend, who threw her books that day, had a couple of kids with a guy who then wandered off like the African elephant, leaving her to handle everything herself, as if men did not exist. The moral of that story, I think, is that we should not be afraid to discuss feminism in mixed company. That is why God made tables, so that we can duck and cover. But even if we have trouble staying dispassionate in the debate, or if someone mansplains the mating cycles of the African elephant, the story can still have a happy ending. My parents are living happily ever after in Baltimore and Albuquerque, as far apart as you can get without leaving the North American continent. And they're both really happy about it. This thing about elephants being matriarchal is true, Elephant herds tend to be female descendants, actually this is good, female descendants of a grandmother elephant, plus the offspring. So if you see an elephant herd coming, and you think it's the bull elephant leading the charge, actually that's the grandmother. And it's all her daughters and their children. Male elephants live alone or in small bachelor herds, and they only visit the family when they want something. I don't know if elephants are feminists. I assume the question never arises in their herds. But I've noticed that we humans tend to have a strong feeling of connection with the elephant. It's an animal that we instinctively think that we can learn something from, which is interesting because we as humans are really kind of snooty about who we think we can learn from among the animals. So here it is, the elephant, this creature that we seem to think has something to teach us, and yet when we raise elephants in captivity, we insist that they live in isolated Christian nuclear families. A bull and a, cow? Heifer? Like, what do you call a female elephant? Eleanor, I think. I don't know. But I did ask before the service, is there anyone in the congregation named Eleanor? So just so you know, I'm looking out for you. I wouldn't want to hurt somebody. Anyway, when we raise elephants in captivity, we insist that they be very Christian about it. A male, a female, and their offspring. Perhaps this is the reason that elephants so rarely mate in captivity. Like, female elephants want to hang out with female elephants. They don't want to be self-conscious all the time. Elephants may or may not be a good example of feminism. Elephants also may or may not be a good example of realistic expectations about a male partner. But for our purposes here today, let's remember that for most of Western history, nobody knew anything about the mating habits or like the gender of an elephant herd. No one could get close enough during a stampede to figure out who was a boy and who was a girl. Until about 200 years ago, in most of Europe, the elephant was a mythical creature, no more real than a unicorn, something that you had heard about in old legends, and a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend had once seen in some improbable journey. Anyway, if we're going to explore the bizarre history of elephant as role model, it will only make sense if we remember that the elephant was only an ideal to people who knew nothing about them. 2,000 years ago, in the century when Jesus and the Caesars roamed the earth, the Roman scientist known as Pliny the Elder wrote, "The elephant has a religious respect for the stars and the sun and the moon. It is said by some authors," he wrote, without naming any authors, "that at the first appearance of the new moon, herds climb down from a forest to a river, and they purify themselves in solemn ritual form by sprinkling their bodies with water. After which, having saluted the moon, they return to the woods carrying their young ones who are tired." Now, Pliny reports this rumor that he's heard of the elephant baptism, and he also reported on a time when elephants were brought to Rome. There had been a great curiosity about elephants in Greece and Rome ever since Alexander the Great encountered them in his travels to India. Everybody wanted to see one. So the celebrity general Pompey Magnus imported some elephants to battle in the Roman Colosseum because this was the Roman way of appreciating novelty and diversity, getting drunk and watching exotic animals and abductees hack each other to death in the Colosseum. So they imported these elephants. There was a lot of, anticipation about seeing them, but when the elephants were caged near the Colosseum, they started crying. They started weeping. And the drunken Roman sports fans were so moved with pity and compassion that they rose up against Pompey, demanding that the animals be released. The Roman lawyer Cicero reported that the mob, he said, was greatly impressed by the elephants but manifested no pleasure. The result was a certain compassion and a kind of feeling that this huge beast has a fellowship with the human race. I'm fascinated by these two moments. The Roman mob identifying elephants as fellow humans, and the belief that of all animals, only elephants practice religion. Medieval Christians seized upon this as evidence that elephants are Christians also. Although this would seem more like some kind of Wiccan lunar goddess ritual, especially when we consider that the adult elephants who were praising the moon together, accompanied by babies, were all female. So it was more like a witchcraft Sabbath than a Sunday morning mass. And then I have to wonder, if elephants did believe in a lunar goddess, would they envision her in human or elephant form? Well, I think the answer must be obvious. Excuse me. But being Christians, the Christians assumed that if elephants are religious, they must be Christian too. The belief in elephant baptism went hand in hand with a belief in elephant burial. Now, the elephant burial ground does seem to be a mythical thing, but elephants in the wild have been observed to pick up some vegetation and lay it over a deceased friend or relative. So elephants do conduct a sort of burial. Now, this is an act that cannot be explained in terms of subsistence or reproductive success. It is not a survival strategy. So I do have to wonder, what is on an elephant's mind? An elephant's mind, I recently learned, weighs 11 pounds. It is 4 times the size and weight of a human brain. Medieval bestiaries, which were popular zoology books with a mix of factual and fantastical animals, claimed that elephants alone remember the location of the Garden of Eden, and they won't reveal it to us because they still sneak off and use it as their secret elephant mating ground. Now we know. Throughout Western civilization, humans seem to feel a special bond with the elephant, like more than the chimpanzee. More than the orangutan, we seem to feel a connection with the elephant. Like I said, primarily humans who have never encountered one in the wild. Boria Sachs wrote that elephants strike a responsive chord in us because they mirror our sense of alienation from the natural world. This creature is so unique with, its nose that's like a tentacle with a sort of hand at the end of it. Clearly, the existence of this creature is evidence of something playful in the mind of some creator or in the chaos of mutations. Or maybe the elephant was designed by 5 blindfolded beings who are still trying to figure out what it is. I don't know. I woke up this morning and I asked myself, are you really going to get up in front of all these people with all of this stuff going on in the world today and say something stupid about elephants? And then I thought, well, if it wasn't for a guy who looked like me saying something stupid about elephants, I wouldn't even be here. Thank you very much.
Our song in response is found in the Gray Hymnal. It's number 18. What wondrous love is this? If you are using the hymnal, there are 2 versions. We're doing the one on the left. Meanwhile, for those of you who are looking at screens, there's one option. Please rise as we sing. You may be seated. What we have here at UU Amherst, it's pretty special. These days, it can be hard to find a community of thoughtful and caring people who are welcoming and inclusive, and we hope that you have found that here. If UU Amherst feels like home to you, whether or not you've explored membership, we hope you will begin a practice of financial support. It's a spiritual practice. When you support UU Amherst, you support values that are infused with love. Whether you give online, through automatic bank withdrawals, or randomly with the cash and lint in your pocket, we are grateful. And we promise to use your gifts respectfully and thoughtfully to continue to be the place where questions are welcomed and children learn love and kindness. The offering will now be gratefully received. We began our service with the lighting of a chalice, and now we extinguish the chalice, not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts strengthened by this time together so that we can share our light in the world. Apparently our slides have gone wonky, so let's see if you know the chalice extinguishing words. It begins with "we extinguish." We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is just ready to begin. You'll find many opportunities for growth and service in your order of service and on our website. All are invited to stay for coffee and conversation in the Emerson Room, just through the double doors. Either way you go, you can get to the coffee. There is a reserved seating area for families at the window end where there are kid-friendly activities as well. And now our treasurer, Bruce Becker, has an announcement to share.
Good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm not here to talk about pancakes or hamburgers or anything like that, though that will come this year, but not yet. I am here this morning to make the official announcement from the pulpit of the annual meeting of the congregation, 2026 meeting that will be held on Sunday, February 22nd, here in the chapel at 12 noon. It will be both in person and available remotely via our YouTube channel. The business to be conducted will be election of persons to fill vacancies on the leadership of the congregation, approval of the church budget, and our donation to the greater denomination, the UUCA, and also consideration of one bylaw amendment which is being proposed. We encourage your attendance. All are welcome to join in the meeting. Voting members of the congregation will be able to exercise their democratic right to express their vote during the meeting. So again, February 22nd, 12 noon, here in the chapel. Thank you.
And our next special guest is Tay Watson, who will share some invitational material.
Hi. I'm excited that it's not 11:30, so I don't have to rush. My name is Taylor Watson. My pronouns are she, her, and a week from today, I am celebrating my 1-year anniversary of when I signed the book and became an official UU Amherst member. My mother's family is only Polish Catholic, and my father's family is a smattering of evangelical Protestantism. So I grew up as a religious vagabond. Feeling well enough where I could be in any religious congregation, but not really feeling a home, but looking for that. And it wasn't until a certain individual got reelected that I decided that I needed to find one. And from the moment the service started, I felt like UU Amherst was a home that I could settle in. Whether that was the opening words of whoever you are, wherever you come from, whoever you love, we welcome you, a particular member of the congregation grabbing my arm during the labyrinth and saying that she was so glad I was here, or what is my favorite song now, I Know This Rose Will Open. It wasn't until a few months later, though, that I knew that not only did I belong at UU Amherst, but it was a congregation that I could call mine. That was when I attended new to UU, got a lovely history lesson for the nerdy side of me, had a conversation about pluralism, and most importantly, really established what UU Amherst is so good at, cultivating a community. The next new to UU is Saturday 14th, and I implore anyone who hasn't signed the book or are weary vagabonds or the optimistically curious and just want to know a little bit more to attend. It is at 9:30, and I think you have to email ahead of time? Yes. Sure, yes. Let somebody that's not me know. But yeah, I encourage anyone that wants to know a little bit more about this place, about Unitarian Universalist, to attend, because it was very eye-opening and when I signed the book. So, thank you.
Thank you. I will note that even if you have been a longtime member, but have just sort of, I don't know, forgotten all of our amazing history, you are also welcome to attend. All righty, everybody, please wave your order of service at me. Excellent, a twofer. Okay. Inside there, you'll find announcements, and one of them needs a correction. The Mindful movie, sponsored by the Justice Advocacy Team for this Friday, is at 7 p.m., not 6 p.m. You're certainly welcome to come at 6, but the door probably won't be open yet, and it's cold. So 7 p.m., the movies are amazing, the Justice Advocacy Team. If you want to know more about being on part of justice advocacy, you can speak to Lorraine Marcus or Peggy Mark, and they will be more than happy to loop you in. They're doing a really important work at this time in our world. And now, everyone, if you would please rise and bow to your spirit as we sing our closing blessing. And don't forget to twinkle your eyes, which also includes a small smile, as we sing the third verse. Slide. Travel light, travel easy, I see. Now smile and twinkle. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. Please remain standing for the benediction.
Before I do, I want to say it's just wonderful to see you all again, and I'm going to stay for coffee hour like I always do, but I'm going to come sit in here. And if you would like to come and say hello, please do yourself a favor and stay a few feet away from me. Good. Together, we have sanctified this space. If you have found strength and comfort here, share some out there. Remember that you are blessed, and you are a blessing, and you are not alone.
Go in peace.
Because, yeah, I thought so.